Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're going to be talking about a story out of Los Angeles, California, where a YouTuber is now facing federal charges for this massive YouTube stunt video he did last year. It's been almost a year now since this video was initially posted. As far as I'm aware, it's been completely taken down. We will see a clip of it later in this video though, if you're interested in that. Anyway, this YouTuber who goes by Alex Choi, who has apparently like YouTube and an Instagram account with millions, if not hundreds of thousands of followers on YouTube. And he posted this video called Destroying a Lamborghini with Fireworks. And I mean, the video goes pretty much just what that says, you know? It's this insane shot that looks like it's out of a Grand Theft Auto trailer where they're flying this helicopter low to the ground. These women are like shooting these Roman candle-like fireworks at this Lamborghini as it drives and drifts through the desert. It's an insane video, and apparently it's so insane that the federal government has decided to get involved on this one. So, a popular Los Angeles YouTuber faces an explosives charge with federal prosecutors accusing him of directing a video stunt in which fireworks were blasted from an airborne helicopter at a speeding Lamborghini. Sukmin Choi, 24, who also goes by Alex Choi, 24, was arrested Wednesday and charged with one count of causing the placement of an explosive or incendiary device on an aircraft, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Central District of California announced in a news release on Thursday. Choi, who has 923,000 followers on his YouTube and 1.2 million followers on his Instagram, posted a video titled Destroying a Lamborghini with Fireworks on the 4th of July, 2023, according to an affidavit filed with the criminal complaint. The nearly 11-minute video, which is no longer posted on Choi's social media pages, shows two women shooting fireworks out of the helicopter and towards a sports car. The affidavit said, quote, "After shooting what appears to be a live-action version of a fictionalized video game scene, the video transitions to a behind-the-scenes look at how Choi shot the first third of the video. During this portion of the video, Choi allegedly makes various references to himself coordinating the shoot," the U.S. Attorney's Office said. Alright, so this is a pretty important thing. I mean, it's not like this is some little local county charge or, you know, like a misdemeanor, right? A federal agency is now involved. I think it goes on to say later in the article that the FAA, or I think it's like the Federal Aviation Admins or something like that, basically the people who control all the air traffic, all of the flights and whatnot in the US, right? They're involved in this entire thing, and I think also the ATF might be involved, which is alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. So it's a pretty serious thing going on here. I mean, just no slap on the wrist is coming. And it seems like this news story has actually divided a lot of people, right? Because I don't know if it's that the clip is just so badass that people are willing to defend it, or people actually genuinely think that this isn't that big of a deal, right? But there is actually a lot of people defending the YouTuber in this instance. Now, before I give my opinion or we go any further in this, I'm gonna go ahead and just show y'all the video because I feel like that's really the only way for you to actually gauge it, right? Because, you know, they can sit here and say this stuff in this article and whatnot. Does it really match up with the video? Is it really that crazy? So let's go ahead and take a look. All right, so I have to mute the video on this one, right? So you can see what's going on. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. A helicopter flying low down to the ground through the desert following this Lamborghini. These women are shooting these like modified, upgraded Roman launcher, fucking Roman candle looking things, right? They're just like completely smacking this thing with fireworks. It's this crazy, colorful, you know, bright light scene, right? Unfortunately, there was a bunch of copyrighted music. I think it was like Party in the USA or something, so I had to go ahead and mute that. But I mean, you pretty much are seeing what happened, right? You saw what's going down here. The clip, I gotta say, is pretty badass. If there's anything to say, that is a pretty cool fucking clip. And I'm sure that even if it was apparently super illegal, it was probably a pretty fun video to shoot. It's probably a pretty cool video to shoot. If that's how I could spend a weekend, man, I think I would be down to try that. But apparently, don't get your hopes up on that one because, like I said, the fucking feds came in on this one heavy, and apparently they're ready to like charge this dude with a pretty I mean, an explosives charge? That's fucking crazy, right? When you think of like, oh, you're getting charged with bringing an explosive onto a plane or a helicopter, that makes you think the motherfucker's like Bin Laden, right? Like you got Al-Qaeda getting on the fucking American Airlines, dude. Like that's a pretty serious charge that's just coming out of nowhere, right? So apparently several things happened in this whole situation, right? That all kind of culminated into this charge. And like I said, a lot of people are defending it. Authorities believe the footage was shot in June 2023 on a federally owned area of the El Mirage dry lake bed in San Bernardino County, California. The Bureau of Land Management provided photos of tire marks left behind by the sports car, according to prosecutors. Choi is also accused of lacking the proper permits to film in the area, including Federal Aviation Administration approval for planned filming activities involving the helicopter, according to the affidavit. Additionally, prosecutors said Choi traveled to Las Vegas to buy the fireworks because they are illegal in California. CNN is attempting to identify Choi's legal representation. No other people involved in the video were named in the affidavit. No injuries were reported as a result of the stunt, Siren McEvey, the spokesperson for the U.S. Attorney's Office, told CNN. So here's just what I want to say, right? So first off, before I even get into that, let's go ahead and see here. So he's being charged with bringing an explosive onto an aircraft because he got these fireworks. The fireworks were illegal. Apparently, he didn't get the permits to film that kind of video. He traveled out of state to get the fireworks. He didn't plan with the FAA like a flight path or any sort of, licensing or whatever you would need, right, to basically be allowed to do this. Because as anyone should probably be able to assume, they don't just really let anybody go get a helicopter, fly it insanely through the desert, and film really cool videos. That's not just something that just anybody can do, right? So you have to plan this shit out. Now, my opinion on this, though, is a little bit more mixed. Now, is it true that he ignored several different things, different major factors that eventually got him in trouble? Absolutely. And realistically, there's no excuse for that. He literally fucking went and bought illegal fireworks across state borders, brought them back, didn't plan with anybody to do this, and then just did it, right? Now, do I think it's the end of the fucking world, and do I think that, he should go to jail for life? Absolutely not. This is a pretty harmless overall thing. Nobody ended up getting hurt. The only property that was really damaged or fucked up, realistically, was his own property that they consented to fuck up or whatever. I guess you could say they left tire marks in the federal property, but really? Am I supposed to really give a shit about that point? I just don't. But ultimately, it's one of those things where had he not ignored all of these major, hoops to jump through in order to actually pull this off legally, he probably really wouldn't be facing all this trouble. Even if you, had an issue with, California's firework law, I get it, fireworks are legal here in Ohio now, but if, that was the case, you should have just traveled somewhere where this would have just been easier to pull off, right? Go to a state where fireworks are legal. I know Nevada has a ton of desert that they could have filmed this shit in. Fireworks are legal there. You're willing to go there, you have all this money to spend on these sports cars, you should have just done it there. But ultimately, do I think this is really that serious of an infraction? Do I think that this should be some serious ass explosives on a helicopter charge? I don't know. I really don't feel like that he should go to jail for a super long time for this. I really feel like there's just more important shit for the federal government to be worried about, right? Yeah, technically he broke the law. He avoided things that he shouldn't have avoided, but I just don't see this as the end of the world. It's just a YouTuber who did something stupid. And there's people out there actually fucking hurting people and using actual explosives and actual weapons and fucking hurting people. I think that should be more of a focus than YouTubers filming stunt videos, right? I understand technicality and law is technicality and law, and you have to basically face the punishment for what you did with that, but it's really just an unfortunate situation. I'm sure that, Alex Choi in this situation probably wishes that he could take that one back, right? Oh, could I have done this differently? Could I have gotten my permit like I should have? Could I have maybe done this in a different state where the fireworks would have been legal? Things like that, right? But I think that this is just a huge wake-up call for people filming YouTube content, especially these fucking IRLs, these prank videos, these stunt videos, really any of these types of things where you're trying to push the boundaries, right? Trying to push that line a little bit. Yeah, you can make some really crazy or cool or wacky whatever shit, right? But ultimately, it's gotta be within the boundaries of where you're not gonna get yourself in fucking trouble. How many times have we seen YouTubers now just do some insane shit that obviously is just way past the boundary, and then they end up facing charges, and it's man, if you just did 1, 2, 3 things differently that they, by the way, have the resources to do, this guy has money for fucking Lamborghinis, I'm sure he can go to the FAA and get a license to film, right? If they just do these little things just a tad bit differently, these stories don't even exist in the first place. Making cool YouTube content is awesome and whatnot, but at the expense of your freedom or at the expense of being charged, right? I mean, and also like ultimately this took place on federal land, right? Like they flew this whole thing through federal land, and like they had the resources to take pictures of the tire marks, but like nobody could go and stop this while it was happening. That's the thing about like the feds and the police and like the whole thing, right? It's like they saw this whole thing happening on their own turf or whatever, right? Like federal land, didn't step in and stop this supposed serious crime that was taking place, but then waited a year to press charges after the case, you know? Like, I don't know. It just like, if it was that serious, why didn't they step in earlier? And ultimately, why didn't this guy just get the permits and make a couple easier decisions that would have saved him the whole headache? Like, both sides, I feel like, really are just overstepping it to a certain extent in different ways. I mean, I don't know. With that being said, though, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel, follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shoptimus down below. Thank you to my Watch Optimus subscribers. Your support helps the channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, well, talking about this YouTuber getting charged and signing out. And that's a wrap on this video, but big shout out to my Optimus Nation supporters. You guys are the real MVPs. For $10 a month, you get access to loads of exclusive videos and archived live streams, my members only Minecraft server where you can possibly appear in gameplay, early access to all new uploads, an invitation to the private Discord, and much more.